Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's episode 5, I think, 5 of the $140 ADV bike build. Today I'm going to be getting new wheel bearings fitted, the front brake disc fitted, the brake caliper fitted to the front of the bike as well. Then I'm going to move on to the back and do the rear wheel bearings and the brake caliper there as well. So let's move over there and start on the front wheel. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to lift the bike up, get the front wheel off the ground so I can take the front wheel out. And I'm just going to take the front axle out. So, nice and easy. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is actually knock these old wheel bearings out from either side of the wheel before we go any further. So I'm going to get a couple of blocks of wood to stand the wheel on. Okay, so got a wheel out of the bike. Decent sized hammer, I've got it resting on a couple of pieces of wood here. And I've got a bit of steel bar which will fit through the bearings, and if I put it through at an angle it will catch on the bearing that's on the other side of the wheel. Now the Speedo drive side's actually got a circlip on it, the other side hasn't. So while we're in this position I'm going to actually take that circlip out. Right, so circlip out, we're going to take our steel rod, pop that through there. Nice sharp taps. Then we've got a spacer, a wheel bearing. I'll show you the other side of that in a minute. Then we'll flip the wheel over. We'll do exactly the same thing again. What did I do with that? This time we've got a nice big hole through here so we can easily see what we're doing. Then we have two wheel bearings removed. I'll just show you these a little bit closer. So the original wheel bearings for this bike have got a rubber seal on one side and they're actually open on the other side. Same, it's only got one rubber seal. The replacement bearings I've got are actually sealed on both sides. And I don't know if you can see, these are actually a little bit rusty inside. They don't feel too bad, they're a little bit rusty inside. So it's time to put the new bearings in now. And what we definitely don't want to do with the new bearings is hit them in on the inner race, because what will happen then is the balls inside will hit the outer race and put little dents in and it will damage the bearing. So what we actually need to do is knock them in using the outer race. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through my socket set here. I'm going to try and find a socket that's just slightly smaller than the outer race, like that. So it's big enough to sit on the outer race but still gives us space to knock the bearing in nice and easily. So this one will fit the smaller bearing. So as you can see there's two different size bearings here. So that socket will fit the smaller one. So now all I need to do is find a socket that will fit the larger one. So now we've got a socket to use to knock them in. I'll get the new bearings and we'll pop them in the wheel. So here's our new bearings, and as you can see they've got a rubber seal on both sides, which means they've got grease in them. Now, top tip if you want to save some money on bearings, nearly all Japanese bikes at least are metric bearings, and they're not usually custom sizes. So I think a set of front wheel bearings from Kawasaki for this bike was £60, £30 a bearing. If you take your old bearings out they will have a number on them, and if they don't have a number on them that means anything, then you can just measure the OD, the ID and the width, and you can look bearings up online by their size. But you can see these old bearings are marked this particular one is marked 6203 NSL. So 6203 is the size, NSL relates to both the manufacturer and the seal arrangement, so these are single seal. The new bearing, the equivalent new bearing, is 6203, so that's the size code, and that's 2RS, which is 2 rubber seals. Now you can buy cheap, really cheap bearings, or you can buy slightly more expensive ones. Recommend that you go with a name brand bearing, so FAG, SKF, Koyo are all good makes of bearings, and you can get a complete set for your wheel for about £10 rather than £60 from the dealer. Obviously, if you're using your bike all the time and you can't take them out to look at the numbers on them or measure them, then it's a little bit more tricky. But if you've got a bike like this as a project and you want to save a little bit of money, and you can take them out, that's the way to do it. So let's get these put into the wheel. So I'm going to start with the smaller of the two, because these are seals on both sides. It doesn't really matter which way around I put them. So I'm going to put that on there. I'm going to take our socket and then making sure that we're only hitting on the outer race. I'm just going to hear that change from a dull thud to a sharp one. That sharp thud means that it's now home and it's properly fully in against the lip at the back, which they sit against. We're just going to pop our circlip in now. There we go. So one new bearing in. Not forgetting to put our spacer in here. So there's a spacer there. This is our old bearing. This is our new one. And again, I'm going to just pop that on there. Get our socket, which we know fits over the outer race. And then we're just going to tap that into the bore of the wheel. Just stick the spindle through, just to line up that spacer before we put it all back, finally put it all back together. It'll make our life a lot easier doing that now. Now what we're going to do is pop our nice new brake disc on here. So front brake disc for this bike was missing. When I picked it up, it wasn't in the kit of parts, and this one, it's a brand new one, happened to become available on Facebook Marketplace for £10. So that was really useful. Someone local used to have a KLE, no longer has it. Bought a new brake disc for it, never fitted it. So yeah, a bargain front brake disc. The brake disc bolts on this bike are special. Not all bikes have that, a lot of bikes have standard bolts for their brake discs. Kawasaki decided that they would use these, and they're used on nearly all the Kawasaki bikes. I didn't actually have a set for this bike, they were missing. And there we go, that's all 9 of the front brake disc bolts in. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop the front wheel back into the bike, not forgetting to put our speedo drive in. So, our front wheel spindle back through, put the nut on. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop the front caliper on. Hopefully the bolts have got long enough. So got a set of new bolts for the front caliper. These are a metal fine thread, so they're a bit of an odd thread. Find a bit of rag. So this is the front caliper that we rebuilt in the last episode. And that fits on here. So I should mention, you need to make sure you've cleaned the brake disc with brake disc cleaner or thinners or some other solvent to get any grease off it, especially if it's a new one. I've already done that. So I'll just tighten these bolts up so we know that they are done up. The rubbing you can hear is just the new brake pads touching the new disc. So I'm just going to pop it down on the floor, tighten this front wheel spindle up. So that's the new front wheel bearings in, the new brake disc fitted, all the bolts torqued down, and the caliper that we fitted in, we rebuilt in the last episode, fitted as well. So I'm going to move on to the rear brake now. Okay, so we're now going to do a very similar thing. We're going to do a very similar thing with the rear wheel. So I'm just going to take the wheel out of the frame, and then we'll use our blocks of wood to support the wheel while we do a number of things. This has obviously got a used rear brake disc on it, and someone has tried to undo all of the bolts on it. Unfortunately, what they've done is they've damaged the heads of these such that it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to undo them with a normal tool, and since they've been damaged, I'm going to replace them anyway. So I might have to get a grinder and just cut a slot in them and see if I can get them undone. If not, I'm going to have to drill them out, which is a little bit of a pain, but there we go. So I will be back after I've got these bolts out. Okay, so I ended up having to drill out the 2 rounded off bolts in this and retap the holes, so it's done now. Brake disc is refitted, new bolts in there all round. So now I'm going to do the rear wheel bearings the same as we did in the front. Again, it's got a circlip in it, I'm just going to knock them out. Yep. So again, I'm just going to pop it up, a couple of bits of wood just to get it off the floor. Where's my hammer gone? Lost my hammer up on the bench. There we go. That's one of them. And again, these bearings have only got a rubber seal on one side, open on the other side, and the inner one's actually got no seals on it at all. So our new ones have got seals on both sides. So similar to the front one, I've found some sockets that are very close fit onto the OD of these. So just going to knock in this bearing first, and then flip the wheel over. We'll do the other side, not forgetting to put the spacer in. Again, it's our new bearing. This time I've had to find a really big socket for it. So we're in. I'm going to pop our circlip back on to this side, because it's this side that, and on this side at the back we've got the carrier for the rear sprocket, which sits in these rubber mounts called cush drives. Again, this has got a bearing to go in it, so I'm just going to tap that in. Just going to tap that in there, like that. And then we have another circlip on this side, like that. I've got a nice new sprocket to go on the back, so we'll get that fitted up as well while we're here, if I don't drop all the fasteners for it. So nice new sprocket, I reuse the old nuts. Again, mainly because I'm cheap on this build. So I mentioned there's a cush drive in here. So a cush drive is rubber blocks that sit between the back of the sprocket and the actual wheel hub. And what they do is they damp any vibration, driveline vibration between the engine and the wheel, and it just makes it feel a little bit smoother. And we've got final spacer there. So I'm just going to make sure that everything lines up nicely, which it does, and then I'm going to get this rear wheel back in the frame. which is a bit of a fiddle. So I'll just get the nuts on here. I'll just get the bike off this stand. So now it's all together like this. I'm just going to do these rear sprocket nuts up. So there we have it. That's the rear wheel in. New bearings, new sprocket, new brake disc bolts as well. So that's that done. Now I'm just going to pop the caliper on that side and we're done for the day. Okay, it's getting quite dark now. It's not even 4:30 yet, but the clocks have changed in the UK, so it's getting dark pretty early. So, but anyway, I'm just going to get this rear caliper on. So this is the caliper we rebuilt in the last episode. I'm going to get this rear caliper fitted. Just going to pop a little bit of anti-seize compound on the bolts just to make them easier to get undone in the future. So that's it for this week, guys. I've done front wheel bearings, new front brake disc, fitted the front caliper, new rear wheel bearings, fitted the rear caliper, new rear sprocket, and sorted out my rear brake disc bolts as well. In the next episode, I'm going to be having a look at rebuilding the carburetors for this bike before I then get into the engine rebuild itself. I'm going to do the carburetors first, so they're done and ready to go on later. So thanks very much for watching, guys. It's been awesome having you here in the workshop, keeping me company. If you like what you see, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button down below, and I'll be back next week with more new content, which is likely to be a motovlog with me out on my bike. So, take care, guys. If you're still riding, be careful out there. The weather's not great anymore.